what is this, number 88 or something like that? Photo sharing discussion, number 88, the first one of 2015. Yeah. So welcome everybody. Happy New Year. Hope everybody had a good New Year. And
Happy New Year.
Yeah, there's Simi joining us
to you.
Connecticut. So Happy New Year to you, Simi, Raj, and
thank you.
Rui. We've got most of the world covered as far as time zones. Do any of you guys watch or listen to Leo Laporte, the Twit Network? This Week in Tech. He's a big geek, and he has a whole podcast network set up around technology, and he has Android podcasts, Mac podcasts, podcast on internet security, networking, technology, that type of stuff. No, nobody watches it. Okay.
No, he doesn't follow me.
So now we know the secret. Follow you, and you'll know what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
But he does I guess he's in Petaluma, California, so he's on the West Coast. But he's done this. I guess this is the second year he's done it. He did what he calls a 24 hours of 2015. So he does a 24-hour live podcast, basically, live streaming as well as then records it for podcast. But he starts what would be the equivalent of 3 in the morning Pacific time, because that's the first, where is it, New Zealand or someone is actually midnight, right at the international date line.
Mm-hmm.
So he starts and he does 24-hour live continuous stream from 3 in the morning on December 31st, his time, through 3 in the morning January 1st. And each hour he stops and they do Happy New Year in whatever time zone they're in, and they've got they raise money for UNICEF and that type of thing. But it was just kind of funny. We were watching it close to midnight here Eastern time, so he'd been up for 16, 17, 18 hours, and he was kind of getting silly at that point. It was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
I think he got disconnected.
A little bit of champagne hours up. 2015 is starting off good.
You were
for
frozen, Mark. You were frozen for some time.
I was.
Oh, yeah.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Now you're.
Okay. Good. Maybe it just froze me on my monologue. Google didn't like that. But I hope 2015 is going good for everybody. We got. I guess this is the first of probably will be 51. Maybe there might be a 1 week. We'll skip 1 week here in 2015. But the first of 51 exciting photo sharing discussions for 2015. So welcome everybody.
Thank you so much for having us, Mark.
Yeah, well, I do what I can. I enjoy it. So yeah, you guys posted some images. Simi's been going crazy with his new camera. He's been posting images all over the place, which is fantastic. So posted a couple. And did you post any this week, Raj? Not yet.
No, not yet.
Okay, all right. Well,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can feel the shame in your voice, Raj, and knowing that you didn't post any images.
I am embarrassed. I'm genuinely embarrassed.
Okay, all right. Well, as long as you know that, then you're fine. So, okay. So I got some images. I'm a little bit on a timeline I do need to get done by 7. I know I say that every week, but this week I do need to get done. So let's kind of jump in. But first, I'm going to do an embarrassing share an image. We were talking about earlier fisheye photographs taken with wide-angle lenses, and I'm going to share this. This was taken. When was this taken? July 1st, 2012. There I am. He was down on the ground. He said, "Surprise!" And I turned around, and there I was. But it was on the photo walk, so you've got all the other photographers there. They're carrying my tripod, looking like a complete photo geek right there. So,
it doesn't look that bad. That's how you look all the time.
Yeah. Thank you for boosting my self-esteem tonight. I appreciate it. But no, it was fun. So
But
this
it's
was,
actually a good photograph. I like it.
yeah, it is. I'm smiling a little bit. I'm a little surprised.
Yeah.
But he did whatever he does as far as HDR or some kind of treatment on it. I don't know what he ran it through, but it was kind of fun. But yeah, this is probably the exact opposite of what you were talking about, Raj. As far as powerful images, taken with a wide
I'll show you that one.
This is
Yeah,
probably not
Everything but powerful.
I'll show you the one I'm talking about.
okay. Good. I'll go
Hang
ahead
on.
and stop this and do that. But
Okay.
yeah, so it's fun. You can definitely have fun with wide-angle lenses. I'm.
Yeah. Can you see this?
We will in a second. There we go. Oh yeah,
This-
Putin. Yep.
Yeah.
He's
this
looking
one.
pretty intense there, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. These were images that went to Time magazine.
2007, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was taken with a it was just a regular
Like
wide angle.
really, yeah. This
Yeah.
one was so close, and this is pretty much like standardized. His like, what do you call? It has become a very popular image of his. Like everyone, what I'm trying to say is, even in his protest and everything, when people protest him and all that, he uses this image. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's
it has become a standard image for
that's become his image.
his,
Probably.
yeah,
Yeah, and that'll be
go-to image
100
for people.
Yeah, 100 years from now, that'll probably be one of the main images that
Yeah.
when you Google or whatever the 100 years equivalent of Google will be, that will probably be one of those images that pops up. It'll be
Yep.
iconic, I guess, is the word to describe that. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's good. But yeah, that's a little more powerful than the one I had taken of me. But you can have fun with wide-angle lenses. So
Yeah, but the guy who shot his photograph, the photographer, he's an ace photographer. Like big, he's also a big shot, and like this thing. And he was like, it's so intimidating to be around him, and like it's so difficult to be around him and not get intimidated because of the power and persona and like all guards and like you get into Kremlin, it's like a palace, like it is a palace, but and all those things, and then all those guards and security checks. It's really difficult. Like you feel the energy. So he was like, I started off with the discussion like, do you like Beatles? And he says like, yes. So he's like, who is your favorite Beatle? And then he says, I think he said, I don't remember which one he said. I don't quite remember. And then he was like, which is your favorite song? So he mentioned one of the songs, and he was like, I said all this to break the ice and make him realize that we are equals. I'm not intimidated, and to make me realize that as well, right? That and things like that. So he took photographs, and they came out like really well.
Yeah, yeah, and it was probably because of the, like you said, the kind of breaking the ice and getting the preparing for a little bit, kind of having him drop his curtain of whatever, that persona that he has about him, I guess is, and I think that's probably a great trait for photographers, especially people photographers. I think you have to be able to really communicate with anybody and be on the same level as them when you're photographing them, because I think then you get the you kind of dig in a little bit and find out what they're really like. I think that's and that's a tough thing to do. It takes a lot of skill.
When you have it's difficult for doing it with normal people as well, because I've done a lot of street photography, and getting them comfortable to give you like a normal looking pose when they're not trying to smile and really smiling, it's tough.
Yeah, and it is a definite skill, and not everybody has it, and it's one of those things that maybe you can learn, but I think you either have it or you don't to a certain extent. I mean, I think it's either it's part of who you are and how you relate to the world. I mean, I think anybody can learn to be better at it, but I mean, the real experts, the people that really connect and are able, like you said, to photograph people and make it look as natural as possible. Kind of peel away that couple layers of skin on the onion. That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough to do. It
Oh
very
yeah.
very much is.
Because it's much easier to, take a photograph where someone is not smiling, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's much easier to take a photograph of a person who is trying to smile. But
Mm-hmm.
it's extremely difficult to find a photograph where someone is really smiling. And the moment you see that, you will have a small smile on your face too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, and that kind of is a great lead-in into yesterday. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we have a group of photographers. We kind of get together. We try to get together once a month or so, but it's more of a street photography
Mm-hmm.
emphasized group. But we got together yesterday and we went to the Atlanta Art Museum. It's called the High Museum here in Atlanta, and there's an exhibit
Mm-hmm.
by a photographer named Gordon Parks. Does that ring a bell with anybody?
No.
No.
No, he
Okay.
doesn't follow me.
He was he was a black, he was a photographer that was noted, and the exhibition we went to see was related to segregation in the South in the 50s. And
Mm-hmm.
it was a lot of images that were tied to a story he did for Life magazine. I think it was 1956, and
Mm-hmm.
just some very powerful images. I'm going to go and share the screen, but he was the first black photographer hired by Life magazine, and he passed away, I think, in 2006. So he was
Oh.
around, but this was in 1956, 1957, and the
Mm-hmm.
images were just absolutely fantastic. It was very, very, very interesting. Um, this one here, I don't know if you guys can see that. He was in a Shady Grove, Alabama. It was right around the time of the Selma um, civil rights marches and all that type of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So he was in there, and he did a lot of the photography of one particular family in the area, trying to portray them as kind of what life was like in
Mm-hmm.
the South in the 50s.
Yeah.
And when most of the photographers were using black and white, he did everything in color, and it was very, very
Mm-hmm.
powerful um, exhibit. And it's always fun to go and learn a lot by going to exhibits of photographers and seeing how they do what they do. And
Mm-hmm.
what impressed me about his style was, well, obviously the documentary, and did a very good job of portraying life.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at a lot of the images, he focused in it because he shot in color. Um, there was always, it seemed like in a lot of images, there was one color that was completely different from all the others. Like this one, this boy here,
Mm-hmm.
he's got this
Mm-hmm.
orange hat on.
Yep.
Everything else is kind of earth tone and
Earth tone.
yeah, and then that. And there's another image, maybe it's not in here, of this boy
One
and two other
dominating color.
men. And two other men, they're in the woods cutting trees, which is what a lot of those, with what this particular family did. And he had that same hat on. So it's just very, and once again, that orange hat kind of in the woods, the green and the browns and all that. And, so it's just a very powerful exhibit, and a great learning experience, and very, very motivational too.
I have two things to say about it. One, his photographs look like they are from a Hollywood movie, like especially the one with the lady, the second one that you clicked on. They look like, it was the third one in this. Yeah, that
Oh,
one.
that one there.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
looks like it's from some Hollywood film.
Mm-hmm.
And second, I really like the format. It's like square and beautiful, like
Yeah,
nice.
he did. We were all, all photographers were all in there going, well, what kind of camera did he use for this? Because a lot of most of the prints were square format prints, but there were a few that were looked like maybe 35 millimeter. And
Mhm.
one of the guys did some research last night and found out that he did start off with like a cheap pocket 35 millimeter camera, but a lot of the other stuff was a 120 square format camera, which was just, and these were all scans from transparencies or negatives that they found after he had died, and they scanned him in on the drum scan, the high end drum scanner, and then printed them out on a quality inkjet, and just very very cool.
I really like this image of this lady and her child. Amazing. I really, in fact, I would like to copy this style sometime. Like one dominating color and everything kind of. I don't know how he achieved it though.
Yeah,
Photoshop.
Because
Photoshop. The first photographer in Photoshop in 1957. But I mean, like this image here, and he did a lot of stuff with threes too. I noticed a lot of images had just, and we've talked about it, kind of the power of three. Well, here it is. There's three girls, but once again, all earth tones, and then there's that orange car.
Orange car, yeah.
Just a completely different offset. And then this one, this was in the airline terminal in Atlanta. And then the blue. I mean, that was just the thing that kind of offset. So just some very cool. So we try to get to, a few times a year, try to get out to some of the galleries and see photographers' exhibitions, because you learn a lot by seeing how other people, other noted photographers have done things, and and it's fun to look at, try to get an interpretation of what their style is, how they're presenting their photography to the world, and so highly recommend, if you get a chance, any photography exhibition. They don't have to be a world famous photographer either. Maybe it's just somebody locally that is doing a gallery show or something like that. Get out there and take a look at it, because
oh, it's not me.
No,
it's not. Okay.
It's a.
Can I ask a small question?
Oh, sure.
Okay. If I ask you, like, what is your style in today's time? Okay, what would be your answer to that? Anybody, like all of us, starting from you, Mark. What would be your answer if somebody says, like, what's your style of photography? Why your photographs are unique? Like, this person had one dominating color style, someone has something else. Ansel Adams had his own post-production, amazing post-production.
I would say, in my style, I think is evolving, and I don't know if I really have a 100% consistent style that I use across all my photography. But what I try to do in the images is to convey as natural, it's close to what I see with my eye as is there. So if I do HDR, for example, I try not to go over the top on it. I try to duplicate what I see with my eye before I put my eye up to the viewfinder on the camera. And the things I like to photograph, I love old cars and that type of thing. And the thing I've been trying to do is to focus on the detail, something that's a little different from the rest of the image. And that's I don't know what the way to describe it. Maybe human realistic. Human realistic. I don't. That's. I haven't done as much landscape photography as I'd like to, but the stuff that I have done, when I do the post-processing and kind of how I shoot it, I try to do it as if I'm standing there on a vista looking at a canyon, I just try to reproduce it, kind of what I see with my eye before I put the camera up.
Okay, so what I understood is, like, what you're focusing on is, one, you like to keep it as realistic as possible, what your eyes see, and second, you're trying to have focus on one particular thing. And you prefer like cars and automobile kind of thing. So
yes,
50 years down the line, your grandchildren would be like, okay, I can recognize this might be my grandfather's photographs because I have this and these things, right?
Yeah, I would say out of all the stuff I photographed so far, I mean, if you took all my car photographs, especially the stuff on film, if you lined them up, you could probably notice some similarities between them. The other stuff, not so much, but I'm trying to work towards that. So.
Yeah, because we need just one dominating quality, which is kind of possible to put in all your photographs so that people can recognize it, right? As your signature work. So,
Yeah.
Rui, what about you?
Style-wise, I think I'm still looking for it to define my style. But when I photograph the most is when I go out and just walk around. So I'd say what I do more is street photography. But still within that, I try to capture something different, different angles, isolated things that you would normally miss.
Okay.
That's what
So
I would
you
say.
prefer isolated things on street.
Yeah, something that you would normally miss, and like Mark said a while back, turn around, look up, look down, whatever. Try
And
to
Simi,
find that angle that everybody goes by, but don't really look at.
awesome.
Yeah.
And Simi, what about you?
I don't have any style, but plenty of class.
Mm.
No, but
Right.
seriously,
Yeah, but
I mostly do landscapes, and I don't think I really have a particular style yet, but I normally try to focus in on the landscapes within the landscape.
okay.
Because,
No,
because
there's a big style actually.
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
If you try to
there's not a lot of big things out here in Connecticut. We don't have grand vistas, and so it makes it, I guess, more difficult, but a lot easier to try to find, like I said, landscapes within the landscape. I'm still
Yeah,
still working on that.
Yeah.
but your limitations will become your specialty. Like the gentleman we follow right now, he had probably he had one family that he could shoot. Others probably he didn't allow him to shoot or something. But now that is his specialty, that he shot a family. Because of that, he could shoot it in detail. So we can see a lot more aspects of a family life at that time. Had he shot different people, he would have shot different people, but he might have shot them shooting this, doing the same thing, like common things. But because he shot one family, he could shoot a lot of things that they were doing, right? So it talks more about the family life, it, than like what everyday life was there. It was for those families at that time or at that period of time, you know. So your limitations will become your specialty in the future.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because you only have, really, to a certain extent, you only have the ability to operate within what you have available to you at any particular point in time. So
Yeah.
you kind of take what's available and make the best of it, which is good. Okay, Rajna, how about you?
Do whatever it takes to make it look good.
All right, there you go. So you're
my
like the
style.
Fernando. You ever watch Saturday Night Live? Fernando on Saturday Night Live. It's Billy Crystal played the character.
No,
It's much
I
better
don't think
to
he
look
follows
good
me.
than to feel good. My children or whatever. It's like
That's a good.
he was all about the look and not about the substance. So.
Okay. Yeah.
But
I would like it to have some substance as well.
Yes, it helps to have some substance behind the look, and I think you do.
But
You do.
yeah, what I would like, I mean, is to have its substance, but I don't care. At the end of the day, my objective is to make my photographs look as good as they can. I don't care about photoshopping them, lightrooming them, googling them, whatever the software is. I would put anything and everything as long as it looks good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're taking the tack
Ansel
of
Adams approach.
doing as much creativity as you can to a particular image to make it as good as you want to make it look, given what you
to the
want
best
it to
of my
look like.
ability. Yeah, to the best of my abilities, whatever it can look, I would, like Ansel Adams did with the dark room. I would like to do that with Lightroom.
Okay. All right. That's definitely a style too. I mean that is.
I'm Digital Adams here.
Digital Adams. Okay, there's your new name. Cool. That was a great question, Raj. Thanks for asking it because I mean I think it's, to be honest, I hadn't really thought about that in a while. I mean, I don't know if you guys have.
We should, yeah. It's something we should keep in our mind when we shoot, right?
Mm-hmm.
That we should know that this is my style and I would stick to it because that is what is going to make our work stand out.
Or if you think about it and you say, well, that's kind of my style, but I really don't like that, and I want to change it. What can I change, and how can I make it different moving forward? And that's just it's almost like a self-awareness of what you're doing as you're doing it. You know, what are you trying to accomplish? What are you trying to communicate? How are you?
Where do you want to go as a photographer?
Yeah.
And that's tough. It's tough. It really is. And it takes a while. I think it takes a while to learn that, just based on what you're able to photograph. I mean, so I think it's kind of a work in progress, a work in process.
Evolving all the time. Yep.
Yeah. Let's jump into the photo share here. That's a great thing. I guess this is. I'll go back to the last one.
The first of this week, yes.
This is the last one from last week. This was Joe's sunrise on the road, driving into the rain and the sunrise. So once again, just cool colors, and I'm sure he had at least one hand on the wheel as he was driving down the road. But okay, this is a film shot. This was taken with my little Olympus XA, little point-and-shoot film camera, 35 millimeter film with a 35 millimeter focal length. And this was done at the 500 PX photo walk back in September.
It's a gorgeous photograph. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
I love the symmetry in that.
Yeah, it's a.
Love the symmetry in it.
It's a building, and these things here, they're like little, I don't know, mansards or stuff that stick out, so you get some interesting shadows depending on how the light is. And
you know what it is looking like? It's looking like the building is upside down, but instead of ground being towards at the bottom, there's a sky. It's looking like a very unique design, you know.
Yeah, and this is the first time I photographed this building, so I didn't, and the light wasn't fantastic, but it worked for black and white. But there's a lot of noise in this image, and I had to really tone down. You know, the highlights were blown out almost. But this is close enough that I can get back there. You know, if the light's good, if the weather's nice, I can get back there in half an hour. It's not that far away, so I can go down and photograph it again, and I think I will, because it's just the reflections are great. Yeah, that was a fun building to photograph. And it came out
as it is, I see it right now. It's good enough that I would pirate this image.
As long as it was like a 4x6 on the screen, yes. If you blew it up, you're going to see a lot of grain and stuff in there. It's probably not that good. That's part of the problem. I wish I could go back with my Rolleicord, and that might be the thing to do, is go back with the Rolleicord and take it in a medium format, and I could crop it down, but I would still have a much higher resolution.
You might as well go with your the 35 millimeter, your Nikon's, and shoot it in this format, in the 4x3 format. It looks really nice in this crop, the way it is. I don't know how well it will look with. It might look better as well. I'm not, I don't know.
Play around. And this is one of those things that is, like I said, close enough that I could get back and try it a number of different ways without too much. It's not going to take me too much to get back and forth and do it. So.
Still nicely done.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yes.
Hey, Joe. Welcome. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, man.
Hey, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
How you guys doing, man?
Good. Doing well. Glad you could join in.
Yeah, I was trying to join in for a little while already, but my phone, I was in the middle of my walk, and my phone wouldn't let me jump in, so I had to wait till my walk was over.
Okay. You're running too many apps at the same time, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically it, probably. Yeah.
Hello, Joe. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice meeting you, man. Hold on, we got in here. We got
Raj and Rui and Simi.
Raj, Rui, and Simi. Okay.
That's all we need.
That's it. Yeah.
So cool. Yeah, we're just kind of going through the images here. Okay, this is my second contribution for the week. This was taken yesterday at the at the art museum where we went and saw that Gordon Parks exhibit.
Ah.
And they have a it's in the modern art section. It's like a giant metal parabolic reflector. It's about 10 feet tall, and it's this huge metal dome, and it's all alone in a room. And you can sit in one end of the room or the other and whisper, and it'll bounce the sound over, somewhere else.
Oh yeah, those are cool.
But it's got all these little bends and stuff in it. So if you walk really close, you get all this. It's like one of those carnival mirror type of things. So we just walked up and did a selfie of us with that, and it came out kind of fun with all the different light and shadows, and you can mostly see our faces in a couple of the frames, but everything else is just kind of broken up and into different levels. So that was kind of a fun photograph. I guess it's an
Mark, is that Mrs. Henderson with you?
That is Mrs. Henderson. That's the boss.
Yeah, that's the boss.
The boss.
Yes. So you're so tall. I mean, you're way taller than her, right?
Yeah, I'm about 1 foot taller. She's right around 5 foot, and I'm about 6 foot. So there's
Oh my God.
There's quite a bit difference in height. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. So that is that's not totally. I'm a little taller in the image than her, but I mean it's pretty close. So.
Right.
Yeah. So that was kind of a fun thing.
Yeah.
All right,
Wow.
Rudy, this is a great shot.
Yeah.
This is
I
from
like
today.
Okay, so this
From
was
today.
this morning. Yeah, taken January 4th. Cool.
Yeah.
What are we looking at, Rui?
So
Looks nice.
these are
It's like a
tram
track.
tracks.
Huh? Yeah.
Tram tracks.
Round tracks? Okay.
Yeah.
And you took them standing? You took it standing?
No. Actually,
No, right.
I put the camera down on the ground and
Okay.
took the shot with the live view to not to mess up my coat.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But yeah, this was today. We had a group on Facebook that organized a photo walk, so I joined and we went
Cool.
walk around.
Very nice.
Yeah, that is awesome. That's a great way, to not only meet other photographers, but get different shots and get a lot of input from others as you're doing it. So it's really cool. I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, it's fun.
Me neither.
It's just a great way to, when you're out with other people, you oftentimes shoot the same stuff, but the end result's completely different because everybody sees things differently.
Yeah.
And you did a great job here. I mean, the frame composition's nice. You got the focus kind of like 1/3 of the way in, and then it blurs. Yeah, very nice. And the old bricks, the old road with the cobblestones and stuff. Very nice.
I pretty much like everything. I like the bokeh. I like the fact that the focal length is perfect. Had it been wider or narrower, it would have been like not that interesting. So yeah, I really like it.
Yeah,
and then colors are not very vertical.
Yeah, there's just a little bit of color in the background, but it's blurred out, so it doesn't pull away from this. Yeah.
Somewhat like a black and white, but.
Is that sunlight that's on there? That nice little touch of yellow in the middle?
That one there?
Yeah.
No, down near the track. There's like a
down
reflection
here?
of light, yeah.
Yeah, that's the sun.
Very nice. Yeah.
This was pretty much like the photo walk, the Calvi one, but with more people.
And my first instinct would be to make this black and white for sure. To me, this is a black and white image. You'd get a lot of that. Like when you go color, you miss a lot of that detail that's in the track. A lot of detail that's in like all that grit and stuff between the cobblestone. Black and white, a real nice contrasty black and white would bring out all that, or just a little more contrast in this image here.
Yeah. That's definitely, I would agree. That would be one to drop into and do a black and white conversion and play around with it a little bit. It's a fun image. Nice symmetry and everything.
It's fantastic. I like the way it's shot though. It's really good.
Yeah, nice angle.
Who's a good boy?
Yeah.
Is that Charlie in a different hairstyle?
Yeah. So Charlie went to the dog groomer and he came back with this is neat. So this is just the dog you found on the walk?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I tried the backlighting.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it turned out okay.
Yeah. It's got a nice.
But
Did
it's
you?
got a little too much flair for my taste, I
Yeah.
think.
It's got a little bit of a dreamlike feel to it. It's probably just too much in there. But yeah, you got the dog's face in focus and it's pretty sharp. It's a little bright over here.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Was it on spot metering when you shot it? Or did you?
Yes, I think it was.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it looks like it was on that normal one, not the spot one.
It says here multi-segment, but
Multi.
yeah. So you think you've gotten a little bit different result by going to just spot meter on the dog's face? Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever I have to shoot a backlit subject, I prefer spot metering.
Mm-hmm.
It does the job way better.
Okay.
It gives you a lot more creative control.
Sorry, go back here. Operator error. There we go. Yeah. That's neat. That's a great. It's a nice look on the dog's face, and he actually. Well, you were. Was that 1/4000th of a second? Yeah. Okay. So. Because of the light.
Right. Yeah, pretty bright day.
Yeah.
And I was going for the small aperture.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. Oh, that's nice.
It's a beautiful dog.
Yeah.
Nice looking dog.
And there's a nice little bit of color in his collar there.
And the collar.
Yeah. It's neat. Maybe you need to introduce him to Charlie.
That's Ruiz's style, right? You know, and had I been like asked like what's Ruiz's style, I would say he usually have like very, you know, like the same like the collection we saw. Most of the colors are like not very bright, but there is one bright color.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yep.
Like even in the photograph before that, we had something similar.
Yeah, you had this little bit of orange back here.
Yeah.
That's a good observation. Yeah, that's a nice shot. That's nice, very nice. Okay, so what is this, Simi? Yeah, this is titled "What Can You See?" So.
Modern art.
Satellite photo. I mean, my initial impression is this looks like an NSA spy satellite or something. Photograph.
That was taken at a state park where the brook is like half frozen, half not frozen.
There's ice on water or something.
Okay, Simi, wait. Don't explain, okay? Let's tell everyone's interpretation before you tell us what it is.
Okay.
To me, it looks like a thumb. And can you see the thumb?
Right here?
Yeah. It looks like a thumb, and then remaining part of the hand, like one finger, second finger, and then this portion is broken.
Yeah. Okay, 1, 2, and then gone. Yeah.
Yeah. So
not
a complete thumbs up, but somewhat like that. Yeah.
Cool.
Rui, what's your interpretation?
I don't know. I was going for ice, but that's it.
Okay, whatever comes in your mind. Joe, what do you think?
Oh, it looks like ice to me, just melting ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My initial thing was, hey, he's got a line on the NSA satellite image, but I don't.
Okay, Simi, go ahead.
Yeah. So
you were sorry.
Saying no, it's okay. This was ice on a brook or something?
Yeah, ice on a brook, and for some reason, I don't know, I just was drawn to this particular spot, and I just started seeing stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I looked at the picture when I was processing it, the more I could start seeing just different objects and.
Mm-hmm. There is. I mean, there's little textures and details and stuff in here, over here, down here.
Yeah, I see a bottle as well, a bottle shape.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
this looks a little bit like Lake Superior up here. yeah, I mean that was like I said, my first impression was like, wow, this is like a really um, just like a high image taken from way up high, like a satellite type image. But there's lots of textures and um, fractures and ridges and stuff in this size. So is this what taken with your macro, huh?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It got a lot of work this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. Great detail. Yeah, I mean this is like you were saying, the landscape in the landscape. You said was kind of your style. You thought.
Yeah, yeah.
There we go. I mean, yeah, you could walk up to this creek and you could see the ice on the water and be, oh, that's kind of cool, and take an image of that. Or you could get out your macro lens and find a piece of ice that looks interesting, and you got a whole other world in there. And yeah, that is very cool. Love that. Ooh, this is back again. There we go. I love the colors in this, like green. Once again, this is the macro lens, but taking more of it's just a portrait or landscape, using it as a mid-range zoom, basically.
Yep, yep. This particular tree looked like it got struck by lightning.
Oh.
That whole area there is all charred out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the tree is just like hanging on another tree.
Okay. So it's balancing on a branch or something up above.
Yep.
To fall. Yeah.
Yep, yep. But there was all the moss and the green that was starting to grow at the bottom was like very intense for some reason on this tree.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it is. I mean, it's super dark green here, and then you can see different, almost layers of green and of the moss and the bark as it's kind of overtaking the bottom of the tree.
Yep, and it kind of stood out with the rest of the trees
Yeah,
that were
because the
there.
trees right around it don't have as much on it. This one back here has, but you've got that kind of blurred out.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, it's neat. And the textures are neat. Now, did you walk up and do a macro shot of this?
Yeah, and then I thought it would be more interesting just pulling back.
Uh-huh. Yep. There's a lot of detail there. It's pretty.
You know what would be really interesting if you could get rid of the tree in the background, then it would look like this tree is hanging, in the middle of air, like in the mid-air with no support. And
Well, if you got rid of all these trees back here?
no, just the one right behind it, the thick one.
Oh, okay. All right.
No, the other one, left. No, on the other side,
Here.
right behind it. No, the one just yes. No, behind this tree, behind the tree.
Oh, okay. I got it.
That one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't mind me.
Oh, it's okay. I
Taking
understand.
directions.
It's difficult to. Yeah, it's difficult. I was not explaining it well.
Can't see the forest for the tree, as it was.
Go
see
from
the tree
a
for the
and take a
forest.
left. No, the other left.
Wait a minute, you sound like somebody navigating. Yeah. Yeah. So if you get rid of that, then it would just be kind of open space. Yeah.
What is your main focus of this image? What's your main? Because to me, there's just too much image. So then what? Is it the background, or is it that rotting part of the tree? Is it the tree falling over? What is it? The main focus?
The tree falling over was what interested me, because when I went in, you couldn't really tell getting in closer with the whole burned out area, but
Right.
But going back, the tree falling over, like it's almost falling over, and it's.
Mhm.
I just wanted to show that the lightning struck it, and it basically cut the tree in half almost.
Mhm.
Yeah, because that is pretty cool.
Yeah. No, I
Probably a
wonder.
portrait.
Yeah, portrait orientation. That might be
Yeah.
interesting.
That would be.
And then you would have the edges of the image be like right here and here.
Yep,
Uh-huh.
yep,
That
yep.
might be interesting. And you could crop it like that. I mean, you got
Yeah,
you've got 30. You've got 32 megapixels or something. Come on, just crop it down, blow it up. It'd be great.
But it's all, it's still a good image. I
Oh,
like
it's
the
a very
image.
good image. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, portrait orientation might be kind of neat too. But yeah, that's there's some great detail in there. And here we go. This is.
Oh, you did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Let me take a photo before and after.
Yeah, there we go. Knocked it over.
No, it's a different tree, I think.
I wish. No, that's a different tree.
Another one that. So you think this is the top of this? Probably. Yeah. It's probably just fell over.
I would think so.
Yeah.
But it was weird. It's leaning towards me, but the tree itself is back.
Yeah.
Like it got snapped back.
Yeah. Yeah. That's,
To me it looks like, like this tree is actually supposed to stand here, but it got drunk and it's lying there. Somewhat like that.
Like, let me just rest for a little bit.
Yeah.
Did you? What did this look like in color? I was wondering. Probably, you think it was more dramatic in black and white, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, being winter especially.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's better in black and white because you're not going to see much anyway.
Yeah.
No, all the trees are like drab.
Yeah.
Not a lot on it. And that white part there in the center, there's a lot of detail in it, but it's just, I don't know, it was yellow, yucky, not very appealing.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, black and white is probably good, and that brings out the contrast and everything in this fallen part of the tree, whether it's the top of this or another tree. It's got.
It's a sharp lens.
Yeah.
Sharpness is really good.
24 to 105. F11.
I tell you what I like is the composition on this one. I really like. This one tells a little more of a story. You're kind of you could get into how did that tree fall? It must have twisted a little bit on its way down. Or is it a different tree? You know what I'm saying? And it's for me, it's the less is more thing. Like you can't quite see the bottom of the trunk, so you're left guessing a little bit as to what maybe the bottom of the trunk looks like.
Yeah.
Can't quite see the end of the tree that fell. You know what I'm saying? I like this composition right here. You're really focused on what you're the story you're trying to tell in this image. You know what I'm saying? Versus the other one, it was a little lost with the either the crop or the composition of it.
No, this does tell a good story because here's broken off, and then here's maybe what was there before when it was all together. So.
Yeah, and right next to it, there's a tree right on the right hand edge, like right on the edge. I had a hard time finding a position that didn't have that in there.
Okay, yeah. So, I think you did a good job. Like Joe said, it is well composed, and it does tell a story. It kind of just goes. There's a tree, and there it goes. And it falls. I mean, it falls.
What would be
of our eye.
What? Yeah, what would be interesting then to have a very small plant, like. Like different stages, like you are like you're struck by lightning, then eventually you will break down, and then you will come back like a small plant. That's like 3 stages.
Well, there's your projects. I mean, you just come back here for the next 15 years and revisit the spot and the decay. That's cool. Yeah, that's neat. This is interesting. This is a similar type of fungus that you had last week, and do you have a fungus book there? You got Ganoderma applanatum. Huh?
Yeah, this is the only one I know. So
okay. Right.
this thing is larger than my foot, and I wear a size 13. So
okay, yeah, that's a big one.
There must be some app that tells you what kind of mushroom it is. I'm sure.
The fungus app. Yeah. The fungus among us app.
Yeah.
Or you can Google it. Just Google it.
Oh, you probably the image in it. You could Google it and it'll probably match up. I mean, it's just amazing.
This thing reminded me of something out of like Hobbitville, like a little Hobbit village.
I can totally see that dark part right above the fungus there,
Yep.
and where it looks kind of burnt
Yep.
or rotted away right there. This would be one of those images that would benefit a lot from a little more contrast coming out of the fungus itself and that dark burnt area. This would be a great one for making the rest of the image black and white and then leaving that fungus and that black part color. That would really make this dramatic.
That would be interesting, yeah. So all the background, everything, and the rest of this would be black.
Yeah, this would really. This is one of those images that would really benefit from that. Because you could see like almost like a face in that burnt part. You know what I'm saying? Almost like a face. It just looks like kind of creepy.
Yeah.
It was creepy.
I have to.
Yeah.
No, the bottom part of this fungus, yeah, that I'm finding it so upsetting that I'm not looking at this image.
Oh, really?
I'm just not looking at this image. I'm just like I'm looking at something else on my computer right now.
That's disturbing to you, huh? Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you want. That's what you want, Sim, right there. You want
some reaction. Yeah.
Yeah. You definitely want.
Joe's creeped out by this. Raj is freaked out by this.
Yeah.
That's not. I like that green.
I am not an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Elephant Man or something. Yeah, you know, it's.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I like this.
That'd be one to play around with, you know, do different effects with this stuff. Ah, there you go.
This is neat. I like the title with every step.
This is nice.
Yeah, this is neat. They've got different layers of it all on the same tree, different spots.
Star Wars kind of.
Yeah, you got two little ones here and then individual.
And that tree is broken. This is another tree that's broken in half. I don't know if you can actually see the edge.
Right along
down the middle. Yeah.
Yeah. So the rest of that tree is lying somewhere in the ground. And this is probably just for these to grow. It's just probably rotting away pretty well, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. But I like the texture, and then there's this moss that's on the tree as well. But It's
almost like an infrared film treatment.
That's what I was going for,
okay.
kind of.
Yeah, it looks like infrared. People that shoot through infrared filters. Huh, that's very cool. Yeah, because I mean, with this treatment, the fungus just stands out really dramatically from the.
I especially like the crack right in the middle of the photograph. That's kind of interesting.
Yep.
And then right side is like losing the skin of the tree, and. Like right side top is losing the skin. That's very interesting textures, different textures, and
it definitely brings out a lot of the texture. And the treatment just brings out the white, whatever the color comes out in this of the individual fungus pods, whatever you call them. Pretty cool. Yeah. That's neat. You just take a walk in the woods and find all kinds of stuff. I love this. The Medusa. That's great. As given by all these branches coming out from the center.
Oh yeah, I like it.
Is this taken with? Yeah, it's taken with the macro.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is another perfect example of that. You definitely knew what you were focused on right here. You know what I'm saying? We knew. As the viewer, we know what the focus of this image is, and then you just gave just enough of the background where we get the sense of this is a larger something. This is a root or something that we're looking at. Just enough. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times less is more, and I like this image. I like this one.
Yeah, and you got this neat sense of 3D here with this. Because this is still mostly, and these are still pretty sharp and in focus, enough to kind of give you that, like it's coming out at you a little bit.
Yeah, and I think I took this with the macro as well, just so I could have a really shallow plane.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, that's cool.
Right in the middle, there is this small piece of wood that looks like a face. Yeah, I
Oh,
really
right
like
here.
that.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah,
smiley face.
yeah.
You put like an
Like a smiley
LOL.
face.
You put
Yeah.
an
Mm.
LOL in the middle of your image.
Yeah. We're gonna see faces in all his work.
Yeah. Maybe that's your style, Simi. You find
That's your style.
faces everywhere.
Yes.
Very cool. Yeah, and once again, I'm sure black and white was probably much more interesting than color on this.
Yeah, the color was just
Yeah.
distracting.
Wasn't
Wasn't
much
much
there.
there. Yeah.
I really like it. You can see from the if you go from the let me go to Mark's screen here. Yeah, you go from the when you're actually looking at the image on Flickr. Of course, on Mark's image here, I'm not seeing as much resolution, but you can definitely see how there's the shadows on that bottom half of the trunk part.
Mm-hmm.
I like how the light is hitting the top part, and then you get real nice shadows on that bottom
down
part.
here.
And it just gives it that pop, that little bit of difference,
Which is great for. I mean, this is perfect for black and white because you got the light up here, the dark down here. Yeah.
It really, I'm a black and white guy. I really love black and white, so I'm generally gonna be like, boy, what would that have looked like in black and white? I'm glad you went this way because I judging from the other color image, there wouldn't have been as much there. You'd have missed all that detail that's in those shadows and in that contrast.
Yeah, that's very nice. Great shot. Oh, this is
Beautiful. I love it.
Macro lens got a lot of work on this one. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I love that. The leaf kind of frozen down here, and the icicles dripping down.
Yeah.
And a little bit of green here. That makes the image right here. This little bit of green down here against these kind of grays and browns. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That is very nice. Taken with the macro lens again.
Sorry, guys. New lens, I gotta try it out.
Yeah, that's fine. That's a perfect lens for this kind of stuff. I mean, that's. This is the lens you want if you're going to focus on the details and that stuff. And I mean, and that's usually when you're taking a walk through the woods, and it's the small little stuff that is really interesting. I love how the ice is kind of frozen around the outline of the leaf here.
Is that maple leaf?
Oh, it's an oak, I think. Yeah, it looks like an oak leaf. But yeah, and this is cool here. Yeah, that's just very nice.
First thing that caught my attention was the orange part, the leaf part.
Yeah.
And then second was the ice, and both are like extremely beautiful, and especially the bokeh, like the blur that you see, which kind of blurs the stones a little, and it's kind of just blurring these stones. Everything else is like pin sharp, which is kind of giving it a special, unique character. And then overall combination of colors is like making it very beautiful, very appealing.
Yeah. The first thing I noticed was this right here, which probably was your point of focus. But then I noticed the green.
Yeah.
It's kind of offsetting, and then
this is complementing. Complementing the orange.
It went around like this. My eye went kind of like that.
Mine went the other way around.
Yep.
From orange it went to blue, and then it came to green. From orange it went to the ice, and then it came
finished up here. Yeah, and mine kind of went
counterclockwise.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's cool. And there we go. You got two people look at it completely different. Just the way. And that's so. There's something for everybody in this. You got some color. You got some texture. You got some. Yeah.
Yeah, it just lets your eye bounce between all three. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think my next purchase is a macro lens. I think that's pretty much it.
Wow, beautiful.
Bottom line, end of the day. And here you go. So you were saying earlier, simply, that you don't have any grand vistas or anything like that. Well, you're like on the ocean. Come on.
Yeah, where are you at?
No, I'm not on the ocean. I'm on Long Island Sound is not quite the same thing.
Well, okay, but it's better than the lake in the backyard. Come on.
I could go to Rhode Island or Massachusetts, but that's a drive.
Yeah. But no, this is great.
I'm in Connecticut, so.
Yeah.
Oh, Connecticut. Okay. Hey, man, you use what you got, and especially if you're near water, man, you've got a lot. I mean, you really do.
Yeah.
The sky is beautiful. I like how soft that is. This is now. I'm gonna, you could criticize everything to death, right? This is a great image standing alone on its own. If you go back there and you happen to get this scene again, this is where you always carry your ND filters in your bag, right? Because you take this image, you get this image, mark that down, put your ND filter, and let that water soften up to match those clouds. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And this image would bang, because you would get those rocks like the way you have them, exactly the way you have them, and then you'd get that water. And then that colors from the sky. Oh, it would. You could sell that.
Yeah, you get an ND. Yeah, ND filter would get you down to like a half a second to a second, something like that. Yeah.
Or you might have even, just play around with your camera settings. At this time of day, you might have been able to get away with it without them.
Yeah.
It would start looking like a photographer took that picture.
So,
I like it the way it is. I really like, because I think Mark knows, like, I shoot a lot of photographs like this, so it's pretty much like one of the images I would shoot sometime, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So very close to my style.
For this one, it's I wish I'd not missed my alarm clock, because this image was taken before all the other images. This was done during the day, and I got a late start. So by the time I got here, the sun was already coming up. So.
Oh, yeah. You could have got it right before sunrise. Yeah.
Yeah, the sky was crazy, because I knew there was a storm moving in, but we had clear morning. So the sky was all purple, but by the time I got here, it was a little too late. But I got a few shots of something, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if the sun went down, this stuff here, that's kind of like, this would have been really. This would have been really purple right here.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, because you're in Connecticut. So you're not necessarily getting shots like this in Connecticut on sunsets. You're getting them on sunrises.
Yeah.
On sunrises, on some sunsets, but mostly in the winter, you get better sunrises and sunsets than in the summer.
Oh yeah, and had you been there before the sun comes up, what's unique about a sunrise? I don't know if a lot of people know this, because I shoot sunrises. When I can catch a sunrise, I always like it. I'll tell you why. Sunrises are unique to sunsets. Sunsets, you don't catch that fog. You don't catch that, especially when it's cold. And the sunrises are very unique, because you can get that nice mistiness, that fog. And when you get when you get a storm like that and you get those beautiful clouds, when that sun's coming up, you get all those different colors, and then it starts turning those purples and those oranges, those really deep ones. You can really get that cool looking, like it's on fire type of, like you could have had like the water looking like it was on fire, or maybe even that island,
Yeah.
They're really special if you can get up early enough. That's the trick.
Yeah.
Getting up early enough.
Get on bed.
You need lots of.
Or have insomnia, or never be asleep in the first place.
Yeah, or take someone like myself that works at night, or you get off at that time in the morning. But,
what's even harder about sunrises, at least sunsets, you can kind of gauge whether it's going to be good or bad.
Right.
When you go someplace for a sunrise, you have no idea until
it's dark beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the sunset, you can kind of see how the day's progressing and make a decision.
Yeah.
Like, you wake up early and you go out and you realize it's a completely cloudy day, and it screws up you've already screwed up your sleep, right?
Yeah.
So. And then you're out, and then it's cloudy or whatever,
Yeah.
That's like bad.
There we go. All right, Rui, we got.
Looks like my car.
Focus on.
Was it a Mercedes, Rui? Is it one of my Mercedes, Rui?
He said one of his Mercedes. Okay.
Yeah. One of his Mercedes pictures. That is, yeah.
This is actually a candid shot. I was walking through the crosswalk.
Okay.
Just aimed my lens. I didn't even peep through the viewfinder. I just
Okay,
aimed
you just aimed and focused
shot.
and shot. Huh? Okay.
Yeah, the owner was looking right at me.
Yeah. And you're
And I
like,
just
yeah.
just walked by and took the shot.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I want to ask one thing. If any one of you is a car guy, now nowadays they keep the lights open even during the daytime. What is up with that? Like,
Daytime
even with the
running
day.
lights,
Yeah,
it's
a
for
lot of a
safety.
lot of the cars, yeah, just have the lights on all the time, like Joe said, daytime running lights. So you always have a light
Okay.
on.
Yeah, it's supposed
Okay,
to
so
keep the person alert during the day.
Yeah.
yeah. So doesn't it drain batteries or something?
No,
No.
they're LED lights and they're really energy efficient.
Yeah, a lot of them are.
Mhm.
They're not the main headlights. They're probably half power. If they're not LEDs, they're just half or quarter power, just enough to have some
Yeah.
kind of point of light on the front of the vehicle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And a lot of them are just automatically built. In any car, probably in the last 5 or 6 years, you turn on the car and the lights are on 25% power or whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's a real low power. What we were just talking about with Sim's image, it benefits a lot from these daytime running lights. You take it from someone that drives for a living. You get those sunrises and you get sun in your eyes, you will not see vehicles coming to you. If they
Mhm.
have those daytime running lights, and this is what'll save your ass, that's what'll
Yeah,
avoid you
it's
getting in a
just
collision.
enough to make you notice something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
that's the main focus of daytime running lights, believe it or not. You get a lot of, if you're on a 2-lane road, an undivided road,
Yeah.
and you get someone coming to you, or you know what I'm saying, and or even just someone crossing the street or something, and they can't
Yeah.
quite see because the sun's in their eyes. If the sun's in your eyes, you can't see something unless it's something shining back at you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
So unless something's shining back at you, you'll miss it. You won't see it. So.
Okay, look at that. As we spoke, Rui did a black and white conversion. Wow.
That is amazing. He went out there and took another shot?
Yeah, just in like 10 minutes. Wow.
He's a stud.
Digital. The world we live in. Imagine this. You know, if you would have said, Ansel, I want to see that in black and white.
Yeah,
You'd
it'd
be
be
like,
like,
"Yeah, I can't do this.
And so it was like, go to hell.
I got to go back out there, put a different roll of film.
No,
Yeah.
I think they could do it, right? If they
if it
had
was
colors,
Ansel,
they
it would
could.
have been in black and white.
Yeah. I want to see that in color, Ansel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That couldn't be done. I think they could do colors. They
Yeah.
could do colors into black and white, but
Yeah.
black and white into colors was
They
not
can't do.
possible.
Yeah, can't do. Well, you could. You'd have to do a lot of airbrushing or whatever, I guess. You'd have to have an artist actually
Yeah.
paint on the print. But yeah, okay. So we got this, and yeah, I mean it does. The big thing I noticed is this was orange in the color version, and that's not there. So the attention is definitely drawn more to the
Right.
track.
Yeah, there's less
The detail
distraction.
is a little. I don't know. Did you adjust the clarity or anything when you converted it, or did you just drop it into convert it to black and white?
Converted to black and white.
Okay, so you didn't change any settings. Yeah, I mean it does put more attention right on this area here, and yeah. Whereas in the color one, this orange back here, I mean I went here first, but then I did kind of follow the track down to the orange.
Right. Yeah.
And right now it's just here, and it just kind of.
I like the
blows
color
away.
one slightly better
Yeah.
for my taste.
I do too. I think. Yeah, I do because and I think it's only because of the way that looking at it in black and white now, the track just kind of flowed. Your eyes follow the track, and then there was that orange back there, or that color. So, but this gives you a little bit more detail on the on this section here. So it's cool, and it's just amazing that we can do this. 10 minutes, click a couple buttons, hit a slider, and bang, we're done. That's
Yeah.
we live in amazing times, really, when you think about it. All the stuff we can do, and how fast we can do it, and how much flexibility we have. It's almost too much flexibility, really. When you think about it, you can get what is it, paralysis by analysis? There's just so many different options, different ways you can do things. So.
50 years down the line, people will listen to a podcast and they would laugh at us. They would be like, "Oh my God, they are happy about all those things."
Uh-huh. Yeah, and they're getting their information just beamed directly into their brain at that point. Who needs
Probably,
speakers
yeah.
or audio? It's just yeah. Oh, cool. Great show, guys. It's fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Some good stuff. Very cool things. I'll post a link to that Gordon Parks exhibit in the YouTube notes here a little bit later on. It's kind of
Sure.
kind of a fun and a Wikipedia thing too. It's kind of interesting. I was reading that a little bit as we were talking, and he's got quite a history behind him, and how he got to where he was at that point, and what he did after. So kind of cool.
Well, this is one hell of a football game, man. I gotta tell you.
Were you watching Detroit?
Yeah, Detroit and Dallas, man. It's a hell of a game.
I got into show and finished watching that game and fixing it.
Yeah, I've been with my new not Fitbit, Jawbone.
Oh, you got a Jawbone? Cool.
Yeah.
So does it shock you if you don't get enough steps or something?
You can set it, to where's they're on a timeout now, so I can talk. But, you can set it to do all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah.
This is the up 24, so it doesn't. They have a new one coming out that'll actually check heart rate and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been having a lot of fun playing with it. I mean, I literally just got it yesterday in the mail from Amazon.
Cool. So it probably has an app. You can view stuff on the phone and log and everything.
Oh yeah, and then there's multiple apps that you can use as well. So right now, here's my numbers for what I have now. So the purple is my sleep. The orange is my steps, and the green is my food score and my calories that I have to go.
Okay, so 68% of your goal on the steps.
Right.
What did you set your goal at? 10,000?
10,000, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of the standard. Yeah.
So they actually said the standard is, hold on, let me see. The average is somewhere around 7,000.
Yeah, I believe that. You have to think about and really be conscious of how much you're moving to get 10,000 steps. Unless your job is just on your feet walking all day. I mean, outside of that, you really have to pay attention to what you're doing to get 10,000 steps.
Yeah, today's been tough. I think I could do it if I was working.
Mm-hmm.
But today's been tough because I haven't worked, so pretty much during the first games, well, I walked before the first games, and then during halftime I went for another walk.
Okay.
And then during this halftime again I went for another walk, and that's why I had to miss part of your show.
Yeah.
But it has the whole food. I like the information. Plus, this has really good sleep tracking.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll really keep the taller dark blue areas are my REM sleep, and then the lighter ones, the lighter blue is my light sleep, and then the orange is when I woke up.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So it gives you really, really good information on your sleep. This particular one, they're all not created equal. This one, sleep kind of matters to me since I'm a truck driver. Hello.
Yeah.
But
sleep and being able to see the vehicles coming at you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
those are things that you kind of want to be conscious of. But you can put your nutrition in here, different things that you eat. You can put that in there, and you put your goals, of course, and it's really cool. For this one was $80 on Amazon.
Yeah.
So
I've got a Fitbit, and Ham has one as well.
Oh.
And it does basically the same basic. It tracks your steps. It can track your sleep. You can plug in food and that type of stuff. And I'll tell you what. I mean, it is tough. I mean, I to get 10,000 steps, especially it's hard in the winter because it gets dark. But in the summer, you really have to think about it. I mean, to get 10,000 steps, I got to go out at lunch, take a walk, and I got to walk or do something when I get home.
Yeah.
Like today, I mean, I did walk and I went for a little bit of a run, and I'll probably have like 8,000 steps. You know, 'cause
Yeah.
it gets dark at 5:15, so it's tough.
Yeah, it's getting. It was definitely darker when I went a minute ago for the walk. And I don't necessarily know that I have enough energy for another one, so I'll probably just.
But you know, the whole point of it is just to get you to think about it a little bit more, and you've
Right.
had that, and you'll get in the habit of like, crap, I don't have that many steps. I got to go out for a walk or whatever, and it makes a difference. It really does, which is the whole point. I mean, that's the value of it. You know, it's definitely worth $80. I mean, that's
exactly.
not that much to pay at all for kind of building awareness, just kind of helping you be aware of what you're doing.
So it's just something, you know, for I know I'll be integrating this type of thing into the things that I do for sure. And then I like that this particular one is Bluetooth, so that it's constantly syncing up to my phone.
Yep.
And constantly updating. So.
Yeah. I got mine a year ago, and within 5 weeks of having it, it fell out of my pocket and got run over in a parking lot. So the screen doesn't work. The only way I know what it's doing is that the Bluetooth and everything still works. The screen just doesn't work, so it just syncs to my phone. So I still know, you know, it does everything, but I have to have my phone for it to work.
Oh.
Pam says I poked its eyes out. I crushed its eyes out.
That's pretty good, yeah.
But it still works. You know, it still does everything exactly fine. It just the screen doesn't work anymore. So
I tell you, I'm officially, I'll say it on your show, I'm officially single now. So
congratulations, party.
I know. I just
Vive on party.
Trying to finally think more about my health moving forward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
just trying to be a little healthier. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, fingers crossed.
That is. I tell you what, being aware of just how much you move or not move on a daily basis makes a big difference, because that's where it all starts.
I didn't get that part. I'm sorry.
I said being aware of how much you move
the part
or not.
Joe said. What he said.
Oh, I'm just trying to be healthier. That's all. I mean, it's
okay. Sorry.
At least I achieved. I'm at 104% of my sleep goal, Mark. So at least I did. I exceeded my sleep goal.
All right.
That's great.
Sleep is important.
Oh yeah.
It is. It's highly underrated.
Food, sleep, and exercise, all three play a vital role.
Yes.
You know.
You gotta balance them out. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, speaking of balance, I got to take care of the food part.
Exactly. Yeah.
and then the sleep, so I can get up and do it all over again tomorrow.
Exactly.
Hey guys, great.
Man.
Yeah, great show, man. Appreciate everybody showing up. Looking for more images from everybody with their new cameras or new lenses for old cameras, or new cameras and new lenses and all that fun stuff. So.
Old cameras and old lenses.
All cameras and old lenses, yes. It's all good.
Yeah, I gotta go because Dallas is threatening to score. It's pissing me off.
Okay. I'm gonna get you on that. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for joining. I really appreciate it. Another fantastic show.
All right, man.
Have a good week. We'll see you next week.
You too.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.